This is a presentation of the Relentless Racing League. Today, the ARCA League starts their new season. Good evening, everybody, from Daytona. This is the Relentless Racing Gen 4 Cup League. First race of the season starting today. Got a bunch of new faces, a couple people you may recognize from last season, but many of the drivers we saw last season, such as champion Bobber Rafferty, we got no more Jacob Denson, William Kern, a lot of big names no longer in ARCA, and we got some 23 drivers who will be looking to make their debut. Only a couple names I really remember or recognize from ARCA. You know, Ed Morris Sr., and Josh Vangor. Looking at here, we got Dave Hendricks as well. But those are pretty much it. Ryan Miltenberger, too. Maybe missing a couple or two, but I'd say we have about 15 new people here for the Daytona 50. I'm here with Isaac Wilson, who's going to be calling ARCA. I'm just filling in for Jeremy today because he's sailing off somewhere in the middle of the ocean. How you doing there?
Pretty good. I know before we started this, we were talking about favorites, and I didn't realize Davey was racing this season. So I knew you threw Ed Morris out there, but I think the favorite going into this season, I would have to go with Davey Hendricks for this dominating races and winning the championship. He already has one underneath his belt, winning Xfinity Championship a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, and I was not here when he did do that, and I think it's his first time getting back in the car in a while. Getting these Gen 4 cars out here as well. Daytona, it's not the, guess you could say, the best place to see the competition that these things can get out. But once we get on those mile and a halves, and I mean, we're going to have an interesting ARCA schedule coming up, like in the next couple of weeks. Got Kentucky, Michigan, Las Vegas, Watkins Glen. Speeds are going to hit 200 plus on Michigan. But all those tracks, it's going to be interesting to see how all these drivers will handle this new car that I'm so happy they added to iRacing.
Yeah, and one of the things, since they are running this 800 horsepower package, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they are, these Daytona races aren't going to be your typical pack races you're used to seeing. These cars will get loose, and it's going to be a little bit of thought control here at Daytona tonight.
We forgot to load up our camera pack, so let's get that done really quickly. I don't know if it hopefully, we get what we need to, but we're having a little bit of trouble with the camera packs. But we're not sure if that's going to be working right with us or not. We're just checking this really fast, seeing if we can get this taken care of.
Well, while you're
There
figuring
we
that,
go.
Joe, let's go over something else real quick. We should really mention. Granted, these are higher horsepower cars, but one of the main things you got to remember in these ARC cars, you cannot bump draft really and get away with it. If you know what you're doing, maybe a little bit, but not like the bump draft you can see in Xfinity trucks and Cup.
Yeah, we're busy getting some cameras fixed up, getting all the sponsorship taken care of as well. I just want to point that out there to some of the sponsors. Jerry's the main guy that gets everything set up and whatnot. Him being gone, we're just working with what we got for the first bit. We got SDK coming in new, and, we got a brand new season happening. All 4 series going to be on this bear end.
Green, green, green.
Pace car pulls off, and Mike Hamill lead the field of green here to kick off Season 2 ARCA and RRL.
Yeah, Gen 4, this should be a real fun ride. Mike Hamlin, great start on the bottom. Looks like I'm gonna be wondering how these cars are gonna run on the super speedway, because I've never seen these cars run on the super, and we already have a caution.
Indeed we do. Josh Van Gore having some issues.
Looks like he checked up and got ran over by the 9. The 5 got into it as well. 13 looked like he got a little bump too.
I think out of everyone involved in that, I think 13 might have got the worst out of it, depending on how hard he hit that wall. But I'm not seeing too much damage on 13, so very minimal damage to those 3 guys involved. Lucky for them.
See if I can get a view real quick.
Oh, that 13 got lucky.
Yeah, the 9 looks alright. We just have a problem happening with our cameras. That's why. Got to turn off Control F12. Yeah, Mike Hamlin gonna lead his first lap of the new season. Josh Van Gore, yeah, he had a little bit of issues running about the second half of the ARCA season last season, so not a good start for him. Yeah, you can see that rear is a little bit bent up, but I mean it's nothing that's gonna keep him down. I think he'll be okay. But yeah, we were talking about favorites. Ed Morris Sr. got into that wreck, but little Ed, just Ed Morris, driving in that 7 car up there, I think he's gonna be a threat. I mean, he was really, really fast in last season. He came in too late to compete for the championship, but he did win a couple races. And if he can maintain the same form as he did last time, I think he'll have a really good chance. Surprisingly, he's coming down pit road. I don't really see a reason why, perhaps. Do you think, I don't know, do you have any reason why he might be coming down pit road this early?
The only thing you think of is seeing that early caution, because Davey went to the pits too, and they're probably just going to pits, trying to get to the rear, possibly stay out of any of the mayhem that might happen here in these next 47, 48 laps or so. But going back to Davey, I know you weren't with us when he was running ARCA last time full season, they had it was a joke going around anybody but Davey, because Davey was out there dominating every race in ARCA, and a bunch of people ran at anybody but Davey's team. I can't remember if it was Dega or Daytona, but Davey still went out there and won the race. So I think I'm gonna stick with Davey for winning this championship.
So
I know
yeah,
I know it's the first race of the season, but he has one championship under his belt. He can get the job done, and why not add another to it?
now with Davey, I've never seen him drive, but it sounds like he's pretty decent at the supers, huh?
He's fast everywhere. He's really good on long runs. I don't know where he gets the speed from, but he has some of the best long run speed I've seen at anyone.
By the way,
And Mike Hammond has some speed too. I've raced with him before in another league, and he has some decent speed at 1.5 mile tracks and these super speedways.
Yep. And by the way, just would like to give a quick shout to the sponsors, Swag Designs and Martin Sports. We're going to be getting all those logos set up when Jeremy gets back. Martin Sports is sponsoring Truck and ARCA, so I'd like to give a shout out to them. We're going to be getting everything set up, so they'll be getting their money's worth sponsoring us, and yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to them. We'll give them a couple throughout the race, but yeah, go check them out. Thank you
Yeah.
to them for sponsoring the league.
And if I remember seeing it correctly, I think with them sponsoring both Arca and Trucks, I think first through third gets a variation of prizes. I'm gonna go try to look it up while we get going green here.
We had Zach Bucher in the chat. Hello, Zach.
Actually, I just found it. So for both Arca and Trucks, first place will get a pair of racing gloves, a T-shirt, and a cap. Second place will get all-purpose gloves, a T-shirt, and a cap. And third place will get a T-shirt and a cap, a hat.
I'd say
So
that's a pretty good deal.
I need me a new pair of racing gloves. Mine are starting to wear out a little bit. If you know what I'm saying, Joe. Holding that wheel so tight, I'm starting to lose grippiness on them.
Yeah, I just go bare hand.
I can't since I upgraded my wheel.
No, I did hear talks as well. You know, they gave out plaques and everything for this is the league now.
Yeah. And they were some pretty cool looking plaques. She was kind of jealous.
Yeah,
Kind of jealous you got one.
I'm still looking for a place to put mine from the truck races, but man, I hope they do that again because
You got to hang on the wall behind your TV, man.
Cool. Man, that is, I mean, they're cool. They look really good. It's a really nice
Yes, they do.
quality piece. All right, let's see if we can go more than half a lap. Yeah, actually, we
Half a
didn't even
lap.
get
Let's
to
see.
turn one.
We got two turn one. I think we get past turn two this time. Cam's got a really good jump that restart.
All right. Also, keeping an eye on some of these good-looking schemes. Got the 6 Valvoline scheme when that Ford was dominant in the 98 season, but lost out to Jeff Gordon, who had probably one of the most dominant seasons.
I still cannot believe that man never won a championship. In my opinion, he goes down as the greatest driver not to win a championship in NASCAR history.
18 is around.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh no, Josh Van Gore in that as well. Not a good day for him. He's gotten hit. It's Jason Racia
Oh,
who
wow.
got around. And I think that's going to be a case I'd like to see the drone cam. I'm going to have to back it up a bit.
Ooh.
All right. So I'm going to back up a bit. We finally saw where the wreck happened. So it looked like... Where is Racia? Can't... I'm blind.
18.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a good camera angle to see what happened here.
Chopper actually had a really good cam if you want to look at Chopper. What happened? The checkup happened with the 18 checked up, and 17 wasn't aware of it. Sent 18 around, goes back up on the track, hits the 58.
Yeah.
Deal.
So the 18 goes around. Can't wait to debut the new cams that we got, though. We had a little bit of issue with them today, so he's spinning around. I mean, you really can't do anything to avoid it, and I think some of those guys may be rethinking their decision. He gets absolutely walloped by the 58, lands on the top of the deck lid of the 13, and just had nowhere to go.
I mean, shockingly, only a 58 came out with a meatball from that wreck.
Only the 58.
Only
Josh
a 58.
didn't. Josh's car looks ugly.
The 13? No.
No, the 83.
83, my bad.
Wow. That's,
Hey, he has a decent amount of rear end damage. It's caved in. Oh yeah, the front's caved in, but no, he does not have a meatball.
well, how many green flag laps have we had so far?
Not even one. I think we got one in. We got one in so far.
Not a good start. But hey, there's
Yeah.
time. It's a lot of new people racing against each other. I would say only about 5 drivers in this race have raced in this league before. A lot of the ARCA drivers and truck drivers, as a matter of fact, have moved up mostly to Xfinity.
So going off that list, I know Derek Katz raced before. Davey Hendricks, Kobe Sutphin, Jason Garcia, Dusty Appling, and Christopher Wages are all names I recognize as return drivers to this league or to this series.
Got 2 new followers, Irish Prince 13 and Packer Backer 920. Would like to thank both of you for following. Hope you're enjoying the first official race that we've got going on for the Relentless Racing League. Matthew.
Irish Prince, that would be the 13 of Christopher Wages.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Like
I
sometimes...
actually, so funny story about Chris. I met him really early in my iRacing career. Only a couple months after having it, and we were doing, I think we're doing the open wheel wheeling series at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And me and him were racing 3 races in a row. I won all 3, and we were nose to tail every race. And I was like, dude, I like the way you race. Come on over to the league. You know what we used to be. And so he came over, and I think he had some issues and with PCs and stuff like that. And I think this is his first full-time season racing in a couple seasons. So Chris is definitely a really clean driver.
Will be interesting to see what he can do throughout this season. All right, well, they're going to be going down the back stretch right now, past Lake Lloyd. A couple cars have fallen into there. Not going to probably happen any time in the modern era, but it did happen back in the day. I do believe that 6 car, I don't remember if it was at Daytona or Talladega. I think it may have been at Talladega, where it blasted through about 2 fences, but luckily hit a wall. I don't remember, what was that from? Was that from Talladega or Daytona?
I can't remember. All I know is Daytona raced earlier this week in the duels. I got put in the fence, and I was stuck there in the last lap.
What are you racing?
Just trucks.
Oh. Yeah, I know most of the broadcast teams running at least one. I know Tony, he's running Cup. I'm running Xfinity. Wanted to run Cup, but I have to broadcast that, and I don't want to broadcast Cup. But I'm being told the truck race could have over 50 drivers.
Yeah, I'm going to the rear. I ain't going nowhere near that mayhem. Nope.
I'm broadcasting that. I'm telling you, I'm excited.
Green, green, green.
But we're going back green flag racing. We got a new leader. I almost called him Tebow for a second. T-Bon leading us to green here. I think it's T-Bon.
Yeah, T-Bon. Maybe call him Tebow.
We got to get him to run a Broncos team one night and call Tebow.
Yeah, we got, what do we got here? The Marlboro Man. We got the Valvoline Monster Man. DuPont. You never would have seen a scheme like that, however, back in the day, because Winston would have had NASCAR and been like, what are you doing? Letting a Marlboro car out here. They did, if not mistaken though, they did let chewing tobacco and stuff like that, like with Skull and all that back in the day.
Yeah. Gold Copenhagen, their sponsors. Like going back on paint schemes, I'm looking at the 60. That is a really neat paint scheme going on here tonight.
What do we got for the 60? Take a look at what the 60's running. What is that?
I'm not sure. It just looks cool. SOIS, something like that.
You know what?
And then
Let's get a good close-up view. High Side Racing. That's what it says. And SOI in the front. Maybe a few ones are going to ask me about it.
The 24 of Jared Bundy running the old good Jeff Jordan scheme from back in those early days.
With white rims of all
Right.
kinds.
I don't think he has white rims. That's what's wrong. I like the way it looks, but a little throws me off a little. Crystal Wage is up in the wall going through the tribal there.
Yeah, I'm noticing a few Ethan's drivers out here too. Got those Mirage paint schemes. I'm actually trying to run that from him in Xfinity. But we had a little bit of problems. Hopefully we'll get that one in Xfinity on Monday for Daytona. On board with the 60, Tyler Force. Wonder how fast we're going. Well, you do an old. You see, the old trick is you just hit the space bar. We're hitting about 190 at the corner, so I can imagine we're probably going to be getting a lot quicker. I mean, when you're pulling the draft, we're looking at Ryan Miltenberger right now. I mean, yeah, if he pulls from far enough away, I'm assuming he could probably hit 200 on the back straightaway.
Now, Joe, I haven't ran these ARCA cars in a while at a super speedway. Do you still get those insane runs out of nowhere in these cars, or do they can stay until we pass
now
that?
because these are the Gen 4 cars. These are not the ARCA car. So, I mean, granted, the engine is still restricted, but you're going to pull a little faster laps in the Gen 4 than you will the ARCA.
The 6 of Holman getting to the lead, but the 33 of Parks looking to his inside and see the clearing here for Hago turn 4.
Yeah, we almost had 3 wide with the 6 car up there, getting a little bit shaky. But it looks like the high side. Now, the high side typically can be the more dominant side if you can get a bunch of cars lined up, them knowing what they're doing. And with some of these cars also, you can side draft and hold your position rather decently if you know what you're doing, but can also do it cleanly. See the 6 and they're trying to side draft to keep their position and then try to get the draft from up high. Got a follow, I think.
Yeah, real quick, Joe, you gotta turn down how big your follow is. It blocked the whole screen there.
I don't know how to do that. But,
whoopsies.
hey, that's a Jeremy issue.
That's
not
a Jeremy
Joe
problem?
issue.
Okay.
MVNTRS. At least I can get to watch from the garage. OME Galoot.
I don't know either. As they're getting
Whoa,
ready to get
18 car.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice him. Well, they gave him the least amount of room possible. Thought they would have maybe gone up a little higher, but 18 going a lap down.
See, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I'm the type of guy where if I'm getting lapped, especially super speedway, I'm not holding the bottom because anything it's gonna cause a wreck 9 times out of 10. Luckily, it didn't cause a wreck there, but it very well could have.
Look, I'm gonna hold the bottom. The real life drivers don't go on the apron.
I'm gonna go up high to the wall.
I mean, yeah, but then there's some genius who will put it 3 wide and crack you. 2 car in the wall. Hanging onto it, hits it again.
That was a really great job. I know the viewers at home don't think, oh, that's easy to get off the wall. When you hit the wall like that, Daytona, you kind of get stuck in it. For him to yank it off like that and not spin out was pretty impressive.
We're going to actually go replay that a little bit. We'll go in the cockpit, see what we can see. So, I mean, what kind of... I mean, what? I would assume that they're probably running like a 10-1 here.
Oh, heck no. 14 or 16.
Oh, you want, I don't know, but you want those fast reactions, though, don't you? Does it feel like
Daytona is the only track. Daytona, really super big, the only tracks I go above a 14-1.
See, I run a lot of 8-10-1, which kills my long runs, but, it's fast. People probably look at me like I'm crazy. Who y'all got to win? I know Isaac has Davey. I would say...
I got Davey to win the championship.
Who do you got to win the race, then?
A race here tonight? I'm going to go with Kobe. Kobe Suffin. He has shown really good speed, and he knows how to manage the draft at super speedways. So I'm thinking Kobe's going to win the race.
Looking up here, I'm thinking Drew Holman. Just with what he's done so far in that 6 car, he's not had a lot of help, but he's still managing to keep it pretty well. I mean, the bottom also is kind of looking weak as well. So, we'll see what happens with it. But 6 cars been good so far, but, I wouldn't count out the Marlboro man either. Also, keep an eye on Ed Morris. He fell back earlier today. Going 3 wide as a 6 car.
3 wide here. 2 into the wall.
2 in the wall again. Yeah, Ed Morris
Oh,
is
he's
fast.
oh!
Man, they're getting squirrely. There they go.
Oh, contact.
They're still hanging on.
They still stay green. Wow.
At
Great
60,
job by
probably
those
not happy
guys.
though, because they clapped him on the side.
Not hearing anything on the radio yet.
Yeah, I would say this though, like keep an eye on Ed Morris. You know, even though he fell back, you know, I could see him and his father working together. See the father-son duo. See if they can get a 1-2 today.
Yeah, they're actually running right next to each other. Basically, they've got dailies between them, and if anybody you want working with you at the end of the race is definitely at 38. Still got a 2-car 2x2 here, two or three rows deep with Park still leading the way with Holman trying to get his nose in there.
Yeah, I mean Holman's been doing a really good job keeping him high. The thing is, I just don't think he's had the help so far. I'd like to see what happens though when he does get the help.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier. The high line here at Daytona is actually
Lap
really
car.
fast if you can get hooked up.
He'll go down on the apron this time.
But the issue Holman's having is that 17 isn't really staying hooked up to him. He's bobbing and weaving throughout the corners. That's really hurting him, especially in corner exit. As the 33 and 98, they're kind of hooked up nose to tail the whole lap.
20 laps down, 30 to go. Next time by. At 33 though, Brandon Park, he's been keeping it clean for quite a while now. We've been running how long? We've been about probably 15 green flag laps so far, maybe a little bit less, like 14, 13.
We went green flag racing at lap 5.
What are you
No,
thinking for fuel?
60%. What's a running? 19 to 20 laps maybe. I might be a little bit off on that.
So, you know, maybe we'll take maybe a little bit more high estimate. Let's say like 22. So we've run about 13, 14 laps in the green. So you're saying that they're going to have to pit probably in about 7, 8 laps?
I would say so, yes. I do know Super Speedway League are running. We were at 50% fuel, and we can get about 18 laps of fuel on that. So add another couple gallons. Something. That's what I'm thinking, about 20. Yeah, about 22 laps probably.
All right, so yeah, looking at that, Ed Morris is going to win, says Stevie Mack. Jay Bird has subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. Using that Prime Twitch membership. So yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you know, you can use it to subscribe to us on Twitch. We got Yoder saying
And they're going 3 wide here with the 9 stuck on the outside all by himself, and he's going to lose a lot of positions, drop him like an anchor.
Yeah. Oh, one car on the wall, white car. That looks like Jared.
The 9.
No, not Jared. Yep, the 9. Can't really see. It's just his number does not project well in this thing. Got a nice look at this 24 car. See if he can maybe recreate what Jeff Gordon did back in the day. We got another.
It was me.
Isaac has resubbed for 2 months using his Prime.
Girl, I hadn't used that yet.
So far, 18 cars on the lead lap. Gatlin Downey at the back, last car on the lead lap in the 35. Can see some guys like Davey Hendricks, Ed Morris Sr., all those guys are just kind of waiting back there. You can see that there's a pretty big noticeable gap. You know, Ed Morris just has enough room between themselves and the pack where they can get there if they need to. And then they have the rest of the guys behind them. So I think these guys are probably working together, just seeing. We'll wait, see what happens. You know, green flag pit stops. New league, new car. Could be a little sketchy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who pushes the limit a little too much and gets a black flag going into the pits. As if you're not familiar with how to get on pit road here, you could lose a lot of time by braking too soon, or you can get that black flag by braking too late.
Yeah, you got to find that perfect thing. 17, Tyler Berry. Haven't seen much of him today. Oh, 18 is going to take the leader out almost. And 98 is going to go around.
Oh, now he's going to go around.
That won't be a caution.
Unfortunately, it will not.
98's going to lazily spin in the infield, and 33 is going to have a ton of damage. Not too sure what the 18 was doing. I mean, you got to pick a lane, but the middle typically not the place to pick one.
No, I don't know. Like,
That's going to give the 6 the lead, and he'll finally take to the bottom. 33 is going to fall back to 10th. Got one of the Ethan Flanagan machines, the 8 car of Kobe. I believe that's Ethan's team. It looks like a. Is that Ethan's? Yeah, it's like all the Mirage, Black Duck, and all that. So I'm assuming that is Ethan's guy with the 88-2 behind him, Ryan Mittenberger.
Yeah, one of the guys we haven't talked about really at all is race the 64 of Brandon Haynes, currently running up here in P8, kind of keeping that nose clean, staying out of trouble, and trying to set himself in a good spot for these closing laps.
Jaybird saying the 17's looking pretty solid tonight. Well, we haven't seen much of him today, but he's up front right now looking pretty solid. He started in 12th, and now he's going to be fighting for the lead. And view on board with the 2. See if we can see him push the 17 to the front. Gets out of the throttle just a little bit. But he has to get centered with that car, because if he hits him along, I mean, if you hit him in the center, you know, you can bump a little bit in these cars. But if you hit him in the side like that, it'll just take him out. So be careful. Josh Van Gore has retired from the race, it would appear. And Gasper is still on pit road. There's only 2 cars out of the race.
92 pitting in.
Marlboro Man going to be coming alone. So interesting to see that. Keep in mind also that Edward Morris and Dave Hendricks came in a little bit early. Now, that's going to be interesting. I mean, it's only like a lap. You know, it's only like 2 laps of fuel, but you know, it could make a big difference if these guys are going to have to pit again. And now it's just a matter of time. And T-Bon's been on pit road for quite a while, 41.2 seconds already, so...
Yeah, he had a pretty good amount of nose damage from that incident with the 18.
Surprised he, 50 seconds on pit road. Thought it would have been less than that to make a pit stop. Yeah, 22 seconds in the box. Gonna go a lap down. He will be not the lucky. He will not be the lucky dog, even if the caution does come out. Had a close call, but this is our longest run. Probably will be the longest run. We're going green for, I'd say, about 20 laps at this point. So yeah, pit stop should be beginning any time now. Got 19 viewers in the chat. Heyo. Jeremy would be happy if he could see this. Still no one coming. I would assume what they're trying to do is they're just trying to come and make it as long as possible, because you don't want to have to come back down pit road.
Yeah, real quick, Joe, I'm taking a look at last lap times. That second group that Davey Hendricks, Downey, and them are in, they've been catching the leaders about 2/10 a lap, and I think they're actually in the 33's draft now. So great recovery by the 38 and the 7 right there.
Now I believe that they're not really recovering. I think they're just, the 18 is getting sketchy. I saw that for just a second. It looked like, so he comes off to let him by, and then it carries a little bit too much speed, gets back up there, but luckily they had not caught him yet.
Oh.
Man, I think 18's going to be responsible for at least a few soiled britches today. So it would look like that there's about 15 in the lead pack. Well, actually, no. Yeah, couple cars did fall back, which would be Downey, Ed Morris Sr., and the 19 of Brady Farrell, who is multiple laps down. Everyone's still jockeying, still no one coming. Wonder what that red Miller Lite car is. Is that like Miller Lite Apple or something?
I don't know. I wonder if him and the 34 are on the same team, because that 34 is running the red scheme as well. He's running a red Miller Lite scheme, and you have the 2 running the red Monster scheme.
Maybe
I'm
easy way
wondering if they're
to
on the same team.
maybe easy way to tell each other apart. I'm gonna do the little easy stuff here. What does that say? All nothing. Nothing. Gonna get a view from the chopper. Everyone kind of just wiggling around right now. Tires starting to get a little hot. Lose a little bit of the grip. 19 to go. Still no one coming.
Yeah, and the question is, when he did green flag pit stops, do you take tires or do you just get fuel and go? I know it's 65% fuel. You can take right or left and not lose on time, but do you risk taking 4?
With the amount of laps to go, I would just say take rights.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't. I mean, granted, there is tire wear, and I'll take a look at maybe like we'll take a look at the full lap times here for Holman. Maybe this will help. So, around lap 11, they were running 46.4s, and they're still running about 46.5s. So yeah, just take rights. I don't think it would make sense to take anything other than rights. And the left side tires, I don't think they'll give you any real benefit. Right sides are always the way to go. The right front's always the tire that gets abused. But keep in mind with the high horsepower, the right rears ain't faring too good either. The right rears in the Gen 4 Cup, I ran at Homestead. The rears get pretty good, beaten up good too. 17 going to be put in the sucker hole.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look at they're going 3 wide here with the 8 of Kobe Suffin on the outside. Taking a quick look at here, and they were reaching 199 going into turn 3 there that time by.
You said 190?
199.
Yeah, 199. So yeah, they're able to hit 200. Just I wonder how Talladega's going to go. I don't know if we're running Talladega, but that should be interesting if we do. I don't know if it's on the schedule or not.
We'll look real quick.
Whoa! 92 nearly got plowed over. I think, no, that was not the 92. Who was that?
58's miking up. I wonder if it had to do something with him. No, he's way behind the back.
Who was that? May have been the 58. Yeah, so Corey, looked like he couldn't figure his line out for a second.
Yeah, he was apologizing for that. I think it was the 58. But they do race Talladega on June 8th.
June 8th, so that's quite a bit away. But Drew Holman, Tyler Berry, both of them have been pretty much dominant up front. No one's really made a challenge for him. I was expecting Mike Hamlin even may do more here at the pole, but he's been hanging around mid-pack pretty much the whole race.
Nobody's actually putting his
Whoa,
name here. Now.
9 in the wall.
Oh, and the 3 wide.
Yeah, 9 got clocked in the wall by the 6 who climbed up the track, got a little tight it looked like. He'll lose the lead and fall back to 3rd. Barry unchallenged in 1st. Got some lap cars coming up as well, so got to be careful coming up there. Looks like the 6 gave a little bit of a bump to the 8 too.
The 92 just mic'd up asked the leader where they wanted him. He should be getting out of the way, but Kobe Suffin has been kind of mid-pack most of the race, currently running here in 2nd as we get ready to start green flag pit stops. Should be any lap unless they didn't do the fuel right instead of 100%. I don't know. But Kobe, the guy I was picking to win the race, I mean, he's up here putting his hat in for that win. Aiming a hat for that win.
Yeah, they're getting a little squirrely now. They're all trying to get some track position. They're still not coming. These lap cars are interesting. Yes, they are. I'm going to see if maybe there's someone I can grab really quick. Ask about it. If any of the admins are watching, Are we sure the fuel's right? But actually, I can maybe look in the sign-up sheet really fast on it.
I'll look for you real quick. So you don't gotta close out.
Yeah, because it should say on the sign-up sheet when you're signing up for the race. 92 goes a lap down again.
Yeah, because they're going pretty long for 60% fuel.
I mean, you obviously don't want to make a green flag pit stop because you put a lap down. And if a caution comes out, you don't want to be a lap down. The only time it benefits you is if you get in the pits and then they crash while they're going in, but you don't want to make sure you hit the commitment line first. 8-car Darren moved to the bottom. He'll take the lead. Kobe is going to be in the lead.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about fuel on here.
Oh,
wait. No, yep, they did. 100% fuel.
100% fuel, so yeah, I mean...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a 50-lap race. In the long run, if it stays green, we're going to be seeing about 43 laps of green flag racing.
Ooh, 34 getting a little looser coming off 4.
Now, there's some lap cars coming, so that's going to be interesting. So we'll get back to that in just a second. 2 cars. 1 car goes down the bottom. And T was down pit road and comes out.
Kobe got a big gap here. That is not what you want at a super speedway like this. He is getting the draft off at 98, but this 17-2, whoever gets his draft, they're going to get a big run on them here.
Looks like he'll go up and then go back down. 3 wide with the lap car. Everyone's going to scoot up a bit. 24 may have tapped the wall, but he is in the wall.
Oh, 6 goes around. 11
6
into the wall. And then the 64 gets involved. 34 involved. That's going to be a caution.
That is going to be a caution with 11 laps to go. Time to
saw that happen
and see what happened.
The 6 kind of self-clear there off the 2. I don't know if the 6 self-clear or the 2 came down. That's kind of hard to tell.
So, looking here, the 2, he's kind of in the middle of that black crack. Comes down. Yeah, it looks like the 2 came down and hooked the 6.
Oh, and ever so slightly, and that's all it takes at a track like this. Hard impact into the wall.
He hits the wall hard. I mean, that could be his day done. Pole sitter, Hamlin. Hard hitting the wall. 9 gets a tap from the 64. 64 rolls it up high and pancakes him in the side and gets lifted up. The 6 and the 24 get into each other. The 34 gets collected. 64.
I'm wondering what happened to 64 because he just drifted way up and just slammed into the 11.
He was definitely went airborne about twice.
On the back here, the 24 and the 34 get into it. And the thing I talk about the 6 is with how hard he hit that wall, he's just kind of along for the ride. I'm almost positive he messed up that right front toe, and you can't really control it once you mess that up on these cars.
We're on board with the 64 during that lap. So we'll rewind it a little bit farther. Down the back stretch.
Yeah, there's mic going on right now about these lap cars, so people clearly are not happy.
Yeah, so he's the 6 taken out. It looks like, I don't know, he just got tight, it looked like.
Oh yeah, wow. He had that wheel turned to 90 degrees to the left, and it just would not turn on him.
Well, things are going to be quite interesting now. Looking at the stints, everyone pitted, I believe, correct?
I'm almost positive, yes. But surprisingly enough, out of that wreck, only the 11 to 64 got meatballs. The 6 somehow does not have a meatball. I don't know how.
Or has pit road opened yet?
No, pit road open. You might not be caught up.
Oh yeah, a few guys did stay out. A lot of guys stayed out. Trying to find the end of where that was, just to kind of
I'll be able to take it here in a second.
Yeah, it looked like Edward Morris just
So,
was trying to get it fast forward a little bit just to get an idea. But yeah, it looks like Ed. So okay, so Kobe, Ed Morris, Davey, and Ed Morris Senior stayed out.
oh, and how about this? Father and son are going to be linked up on that top line here on this restart.
Now that should be interesting. Gonna take a look at the chats. The 18 almost killed the leaders twice now. Then this 92. No, it's not right. These lap cars are absolute demons, man. And then we got Zach. There goes my pick. Who'd you pick, Zach?
He was probably picking the 6. Oh, I wonder how much trouble Ed would give if he wrecked his dad.
Now, the other thing we gotta keep in mind here, though, they are gonna be on older tires. They're on 40 lap tires. I mean, from the lap times, it didn't look like it was that big of a deal. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. You're learning as you go. But maybe if a wreck happens and they start falling back, do you think they come down and pit then?
I mean, this late in the race, track position being everything, I don't know. I went out there and turned a few laps in test drive, but I don't know if this is an 800 horsepower car because I don't hear that Gen 4 sound I heard when I was racing them at Las Vegas earlier this week, or at Homestead earlier this week. So they might not have the right car in here either.
Well, keep in mind it is restricted, the engine.
True.
But I mean, they are getting pretty fast speeds. I don't know.
Pace car pulls off. Kobe leads the green here with 8 to go.
Green flag, green
These
flag.
guys get ready to close out the first race here in the season.
Hopefully it wasn't a mistake on their part, but I mean, I don't know. With the speeds we're getting, I would assume it would have been.
I've hit 200 in ARCA cars before they did the update.
Fair enough, fair enough. Who knows?
Davey Hendrick's going to look to the high side, split the Morris's up as Morris, I think senior's in the 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he did not get a good start at all.
Put it this
He's
way,
going to get a really good run here.
Daytona really doesn't matter what engine package we got. We'll know if they mess up next week at Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. We'll know for sure.
Because if that thing ain't hitting 190 at least, Admins, you're doing it wrong then. Unless they had a last-minute change.
Toby loses some ground as he restarted that race in first, as now Ed Morris, I gotta figure which one's senior, which one's junior.
Morris is the 7, and
Okay.
Senior is the 5. Morris,
Okay.
little Ed, I feel like he has a great chance to win this. He hangs in the back pretty much all day. I think little Ed can do it.
So you got the 2 Morrises on the high side, split up by Davey Hendricks. And then you got 2 Mirage teammates, or whatever Ethan's team name is. I don't know what he named them, but you got them linked up nose to tail on the inside line.
I mean, yeah, the 7, the 38, and the 5, they're going to work together. I mean, the Mirage guys, too, they're going to work together, too. So, I mean, you got 2 big teams working together. So, if you're a guy, maybe a single-car team, or even just trying to get around and your teammates nowhere to be found, what are you going to do here?
I guess your friends are where you find them at this point in the race. I think we're at 6 to go this time by.
I don't think that these guys are really going to necessarily go out of the way to help them. But I think if you see someone else go, I mean, knowing that there's 2 teams leading the pack, follow them, I guess. What do you have to lose? It's Daytona. You got to win Daytona. 5 to go, coming to the line. Ed Morris just leading by half a car length.
Oh, and the 60 gets around.
The yellow flag
Hard
down.
impact in the wall. I believe it's going to set up a green-white checkered. A natural green-white checkered.
That is going to be a green-white checkered, and let's take a look at what happened. Would appear it came with the 2.
I think the two really just filled a hole that really wasn't there. I
We're
mean,
gonna rewind it just a little bit more. So, I mean, yeah, they're going 3 wide. The 60. I mean, he's getting pinched down. The 60. It's. I mean, you're racing with 6 to go. 60 collapse into the 17, right in
oh,
front of
90.
Marlboro Man.
Ooh,
Plows him. 24 launches the 92 on the wall. Nowhere to go, pretty much. 24 got a little bit of a hit as well. Yeah, when he hit that wall hard too.
he got hit pretty hard by the 90, too, also.
Yeah, even swung into the 19 pretty good.
And somehow the 60 does not have a meatball. Only one's meatball from that wreck, the 19. That's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll get one on board with the 60, and then we'll.
They put the next gen body model on these cars because these are some hard hits I'm seeing with no meatball flags.
Yeah, very surprised that the 60 managed to not get a meatball off of that. All right, so we're going to be having green, white, checkered. It's going to be Kobe, Ed Morris, Miltenberger, Hendricks, Dusty in the 9, and then Ed Morris. So you got the 3 teammates. They're all going to be up on the high side. And then you're still going to have Kobe and Ryan on the bottom. It's 3v2. But it's going to be a team effort for the win, I would say. Zach's pick was Drew. I had a good thought about Drew too, but I would say my second pick would definitely be Ed Morris. T-Stan seems like a great race. How many cautions? I believe this is our 4th. We had a big long run in the middle of the race, 2 early ones and 2 late ones. So with 2 to go, I think we get 2 attempts for a green, white, checkered, if I'm not mistaken. Isaac?
Say again?
I believe we get 2 attempts.
I think 2.
All right, so 2 attempts. I think we're going to need all 2. It's going to be interesting. I think the team guys are going to be working pretty clean, but it's going to be a rough to get around them, and I think that's where we might be seeing the yellows. Pace lights should be going off this time. While we got a chance, would like to thank once again Martin Sports for sponsoring Truck and Arca. We'll be getting all those logos up very soon. Thank you to them, and make sure you check them out. Zach, either of the Morris guys could win it. Both are good, yeah. Ed Sr. was in the playoffs last year. I believe he's the only playoff driver that is returning for a second season. And he is the only playoff driver to return. I believe I don't know where he finished in the playoff. I think he was in the top. There were 8 spots. I think he's finished 7th or something, but he had a pretty decent year. I don't think he won a race. He may have won one, but he was very consistent.
Yeah, this will be a natural green, white, checkered attempt, so this will not use up 1 or 2 attempts.
All right, so we will get 3 attempts. With the beating and banging and all that, we've had 13 on the lead lap. Mike Hamlin, he's not going to be competitive. Actually, we have, it would appear 14 on the lead lap now. He might be on the lead. Now, it's saying that he's a lap down, though, but yeah, like Hamlin,
He is.
All right, yeah, Hamlin's not really going to do anything. Brandon Park. And can we try and get up to the pack before they go green? I think they'll be able to do that. Yeah, they're going to slow down and get up in the line real quick. But there's a lot of cars with damage in the back. I'd say only about top 8 have a chance with their aero.
Green flag, green flag.
2 laps to go at Daytona. Team versus team. Let's see who can win it. Good start on the bottom by the 8. But he's gapping his guys a little bit, so they're going to have to come up there and get him. Good start from Davey and Ed.
Man, if you're Dusty, you're kind of stuck between two teams. Where do you go here at the end of the race? You just kind of ride it out for maybe a top 5, or you try to make some moves to get a win here.
He had a chance to pull up in front of Morris Sr., but did not. And Morris Sr. really needs to get pushed up to that 38. The 7 is leading by just a little bit. However, I mean, I don't know if you want to be playing it safe, but the 88 gonna kind of flop around a little bit. White flag, 1 more lap to go. We are going to finish under green.
Yeah, and the one thing hurting the 7 here on this last lap is every time Davey blinks out, he loses that draft help for that split second. That's really hurting him here on the last lap.
I mean, Ed might be able to do it. If he can get a good side draft, get just a slight bump from the 38. Don't wreck him, though.
8 goes up top, and he can get the bumper from the 7.
Yeah, try to block, but we're going to be having a side-by-side finish of the line. I don't think Davey's going to step out and try to win it for himself. He might try, though. Ed's going to have that run up top, though. The 8 throws the block.
God, it was Joey.
I think Davey could get it. Davey spun around. The 9 in the wall. It's going to be the 9.
It's going to be the 9. Wow.
Dusty Alpin wins the Daytona 50. They wreck across the line, and none of the Morris team effort gets in there. Ryan Miltenberger will come away with second.
Miltenberger and Wages got a podium finish underneath the 2 teammates.
All right, we have a little bit to unpack here. So we're going to rewind it just a little bit. So the 8, I don't know if he got hit. I don't know if he got hit or if the 7 took a little bit of a bumper from the 38. I mean, it looked like he could have gotten hit. I'm not too sure. So the 7 gets in the wall, and it looked like it was going to be all good. And then the 5, like just trying to avoid it, gets into the 24 and the 17. And then the 8 comes down to throw the block on Davey. Davey wins this race if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The 9 just casually goes through the 38 and gets taken and pushed across the line. Oh, man. Yeah, going back, I think we have the perfect camera for this. I never thought I'd get a chance to use this maybe in a race, but here we go.
So STK is showing Wages got third, but iRacing is showing the 35 got third.
So looking here, so yeah, the 9, I mean, he's finishing on 2 wheels. We're just gonna do it this way because it's the only way that it's really able to be done. We're just gonna kind of flop it back just a little bit. So there is your screenshot, guys. Your screenshot. But when we go here, okay, so there's the 35. The 35, theoretically, he's in second. The 35 is in second because the 88, he is sideways. So, you know, looking at that, oh goodness, what's going on with my cameras? Yeah, but yeah, if we go just a little bit farther, I mean, it looks like the 13 finished third then. So maybe we're going to have a little bit of scoring errors here, but what a finish. We'll be getting the interviews in just a moment.
Yeah, I think the 88 did finish fourth based off that picture I'm seeing right there because he hasn't crossed the start finish line and Christopher Waits has already crossed it.
We're going to get a onboard camera that last lap for the 9. So, you know, 9's just kind of sitting there. I'm going to get a top 5 finish. We're looking good. Oh, man, there's a wreck. Ooh, ooh. Then, whammo. Going through that guy. And finishing looking at the ground. With a car going over his roof. Gonna maybe see if we can get one more. There's a lot of cars that had moments there. You know what? We'll take a look at a few more onboards. We'll go with Davey. Davey had a chance to get a top 5, maybe even a top 3. He's finishing in 10th. All right,
he had a chance to win the race.
And the 8 just sends the block on him.
That was a ridiculous block.
And on his roof. And the catch fence finishing in 8th.
So based on what I'm seeing, is the top 3 are the 9, 35, and 13.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Why is STK popping up like that? So yeah, I mean, you know, looking here, the 24 slapped the inside wall, so the 5, 38. That looked real. Oh goodness. The 38's crash. I mean, that looked really similar to the Ryan Newman crash a couple of years ago.
And how about the 9 that coding through Davey to get that win? Like,
We're gonna
ghosting through Davey, and that's what got him the win.
Oh god, we have a leg spike. Really big leg spike. 1 second. So we're gonna go get one more on board. This time with the 88. So looking here, I mean, nah, that didn't look like the 8 hit him. And then driving along. He doesn't lift, he doesn't change his lane. We'll get one more view. This time on the rear cam. Get the gearbox of the 9. See everything get destroyed behind him. So the 24 and 5 hit the wall. Wreck was pretty much over then. But man, what a finish. We're gonna be getting the victory lane interview and top 3 in just a moment.
I just thought it was hilarious that the 13 and 35 went underneath those 2 guys for position.
All right, time to get in. Dusty Alpin. I don't know if you have Discord or I don't know if he's watching, but if anyone knows, is able to get a hold of Dusty, tell him to get in the Discord so we can move him. I'm just going to add him really fast. What is that channel called? I don't even know. Join Podium Finishers. All right, we'll get him in, but first we'll get Christopher Wages. He finished in 3rd, yes, according to the score.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
Not according to scoring, according off what we're seeing, because
right.
Scoring was off. He definitely finished 3rd.
All right. Hello, Christopher Wages. This is Joe and Isaac. You got us, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
Well, interesting finish, to say the least. Probably got more than what you thought you were going to get on that final lap.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised I even made it up there. I got caught up in them other 2 cautions. People wrecking and getting me caught up in it, but yeah, I was surprised to even make it back up there at the end.
Yeah, because, man, that was a interesting race. You know, had 2 early cautions and then 2 late cautions, but had that big, long run as well. How did the race go for you? Like, tell us about, like, your race.
Honestly, that long stretch we had was amazing. I just kind of tried to stay away from specific cars on the track, particularly the 9 and 2. Try to stay as far away from them as I could. But I mean, it was still fun. The ending there was that was intense. I had two teammates that were up there in the top four, probably they were like second and third or something like that. And they got caught up in all that bullshit.
Yeah, you were running 10th
Yeah.
at the start of the final lap. Who are your two teammates?
Davey.
He's with Davey and the Morrises.
Yep, Davey and the Morris. Yep.
Man, I think after that wreck, if the 8 doesn't come down on Davey, Davey wins the race.
Yeah. I was watching that replay there from his point of view, and I think he definitely would have had that.
Man, looking after the race too, there was a big crash between the 18. But you know, they were up front pretty much all day, and I didn't really see much of you. But you know, how did the first race go? You think?
It started off pretty rough, man. There was a few people holding their line issues. But I mean, overall, not bad. What we have 3 cautions total, 4 total. It definitely wasn't bad. It definitely could have been worse. This is actually my first podium finish, so I'm extremely excited about that.
All right. Well, congratulations on the 3rd, and you got any shoutouts?
Yeah, shout outs to Stumps R Russ. Shout out to Relentless Racing League, and shout out to you gentlemen for putting on this broadcast for us. We appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right. Well, looking forward to seeing you next week for the Gen 4 League. Should be fun to see how these things go on the mile and the halves.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right. You too. We got Gatlin Downey in here. He finished in the second position. Man, was a pretty interesting ending, you could say.
Very interesting. I did not think even turn 4 and 10th I would be third at the line. Well, second at the line.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your last lap, you know, if you were just to remove your thing there for a little second, you were, if I'm looking, 8th on the final lap. So, I mean, how'd that final lap go for you, man? Tell us about it.
Well, my plan was to just ride the rest of the lap out to see if anything would go down, and things did. I didn't get through the wreck necessarily how I wanted to, but I at least met to the line, and I wouldn't end up stuck in the infield.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good race. I mean, luckily you were able to pretty much keep your nose in the game too, because there were a few drivers who definitely got into it early or late.
Yep.
Isaac, you got any questions for Gatlin?
Yeah, what were your thoughts when you saw that wreck? Were you just like, I'm just going to hold the gas and pray for the best? Or were you trying to find a line to possibly win the race if that wreck was going on?
I seen the first wreck and decided to shoot low, but then a wreck happened below, so I just stayed in the middle. And then just wrecks happened everywhere where I couldn't avoid it.
Yeah, it looked like there may have been a shot if you would have been able to get down bottom. You may have been able to get down bottom, but I don't think it would have made a difference because you did get tapped just a little bit in your quarter panel. But, you know,
looking at it, I believe I probably could have got to the bottom. With the 13 on the inside of me, I didn't want to,
I
risk
didn't even notice
something
the
on
13 there.
Yeah, at one point he went high and I went low, and we just kind of door banged and kept each other straight.
Yeah, looking at Wages, I didn't even notice what happened with him. He running straight into the second or first pit box, going through the pace car too. But your first race here, I believe, is that correct?
It is.
How is it for your first race?
It's better than what I was expecting.
All right, well, happy to hear that. You got any shout-outs that you want to shout out?
Shout out my teammate Brady. He was in this race, but he didn't get a fair shake of things. His computer was having connection issues all night. Shout out team owner. That's about it, I guess.
All right. Well, hey, good run today, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you next week.
Look forward to maybe talking to you again next week.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm filling in for Jeremy right now because he's sailing off in some part of the ocean. All right, see you, man. Good run.
See you.
Dusty, defying physics today.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about your race and that last lap in the win, man.
Oh, I don't even know what to call that. I thought I was going to be called back for going below the yellow, but I mean, I was forced to go that way.
much.
But
I
Um,
didn't want to mention it and curse you, but no, you did. So.
yeah, I did. I had no choice, but it was definitely a wild ride there to the finish.
Yeah, defying physics, going through the 38 car. Man, tell us about your race beforehand, because it looked like you were getting in a little bit of trouble there earlier. Not really that trouble that was your fault, but I did notice that you did have a few dents on your car before that incident.
Yeah, it's just everyone's eager to get to the front for the deals, and I get it, but I mean at the same time, it's not that hard to hold a line here. So, but yeah, we were trading paint there for a little bit, but I knew once we had a few laps to go, it was gonna get really intense.
Had a hard time picking your number out there for a second because of the all-white car, but maybe you'll have some new paint on it after today.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can attract some sponsors with this win.
Got anything for Dusty, Isaac?
Yeah, Dusty, I know. I've broadcast your races in the past, and I think this is your first win, correct?
At Daytona, yes, with this league, but no, not the first win.
Okay, I can't remember if you won a race or not, but man, we called Fortune's a lucky events there, dude. Talking through what's going through your head, and you saw David go low, and next thing you know, you're going through him. Like, how were you like, man, I'm lucky.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get held back whenever I went through that car, but yeah, I beat physics and we got it we got it P1.
Man, it was a wild race. I mean, you were up front most of that race without your plane coming in tonight, kind of sticking in the middle of the pack. Were you thinking at any point in that race, let me just kind of fall back here, being a little too racy?
Yeah, it was definitely getting intense the first part of the race, and I didn't want no part of that, so I backed out and was just cruising around. So I had no plans on getting up there and fighting everyone for the first spot when I knew we had 50 laps to get it done. So it always counts on that last one.
I think that was the only lap you led too.
Probably so.
Well, you got any shout-outs there, Dusty?
Oh yeah, I got appreciate TMJ for coming aboard and letting me race for them, and they've always been having my back since the beginning, since I came into this league. So big shout out to them.
All right, sounds good. Well, congratulations on the first win at Daytona, and we'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, man, what a good finish as we watch one last time on board with Dusty. Going through Davey to win the race and finishing on two wheels. We're going to go live and get the final results from the tower. All right, Dusty's going to finish first, pending some changes. Gatlin Downey's going to be in second. Chris Wagers is going to be third. Ryan Miltenberger would be fourth. Kobe is going to be fifth. Ed Morris is going to be sixth. Tyler Berry seventh. Davey Hendricks eighth. Brendan Park ninth. Ed Moore Sr. 10th. Jared Bundy 11th. Matt Kinley is going to be 12th. Mike Hamlin 13th. Alexander Monti 14th. Jeremy Tabon 15th. Derek Kett 16th. Tyler Forsh 17th. Brady Farrell 18th. Drew Holman 19th. Brendan R. Haynes 20th. Jason Rayaka 21st. Corey Gasper 22nd. And Josh Van Gore 23rd. Well, first race of the new season. ARCA starting out. Pretty good start, would you say?
Yeah, it was a really good start, and if you guys enjoyed the show you watched, just remember the other three series that we'll be racing Daytona for next week, Monday through Wednesday. So tune in for that, and then we go back live here in ARCA at Kentucky, a very tricky track with the way it drives.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Jeremy Robbins getting back up in the booth. Hopefully, trying to get my blimp cam up, and it's just like, no, I don't want to have blimp cam. But yeah, we'll be here Monday through Wednesday next week. Fireworks going off at Daytona, and what a good finish here today. Probably one of the best finishes we've seen at Daytona in any of the top four leagues in a while. So it was a very good race here tonight, and a good way to kick off the new relationship with SBRN and Relentless Racing League, getting all four series broadcast this year. Anyway, that is going to be all for us tonight. We'll see you again on Monday for the start of the Xfinity Series. You'll see me driving. And you're going to be broadcasting Xfinity, or are you broadcasting something
No,
else?
just Cup and Arca.
Cup and Arca. Well, you'll see Jeremy, and you will see Jesse. Jesse's a new guy we got in here. I believe we might see Tony Frey as well. So should be a nice little cast that we got in Xfinity. Should be a nice run. Run the 125s. They went pretty well. Anyway, that's going to be all for us tonight. Good night, everybody. This is Sun Broadcast Race Network. And have a good night, everybody. Thanks to everyone that chatted. Thanks to everyone that followed and subscribed to us. Going to take one final peek at the chats. Looked like a few people are talking about what they had going on in their race. Had about 20 viewers at the top, so yeah, we had a good night tonight. Good night, everybody. This is Joe and Isaac saying goodbye.
Later.